History remembers Queen Eleanor as one of the wisest rulers her kingdom had ever known. Not because she conquered distant lands, not because she built magnificent castles, but because she believed the greatest investment a kingdom could ever make was in its children. It was a belief that would eventually uncover one of the most powerful ideas in finance. One quiet morning, Queen Eleanor walked through the royal treasury. Towering shelves overflowed with gold. Chests lined every wall. The royal treasurer smiled proudly. "Your Majesty, the treasury has never been richer." The queen picked up a single gold coin and slowly turned it in her hand. Then she looked across the endless sea of treasure. "Tell me," she asked softly, "how many children learned to read because this gold stayed locked inside this room?" The treasurer stood silent. The queen smiled. "I thought so." She gently placed the coin back. "Gold hidden away changes nothing." The next morning, the entire kingdom gathered before the castle. Teachers, parents, children. The queen stepped onto the balcony. "This kingdom has given me more than I could ever ask for." She looked toward the children. "Now it is time to give something back." The crowd fell silent. "Today I am creating the Royal Education Fund." A murmur spread through the crowd. 1,000,000 gold coins will be placed into this fund. The treasurer nearly dropped his ledger. The queen continued. "This gold will not build another palace. It will not buy another crown. 20 years from today, every coin in this fund will build schools, buy books, train teachers, and ensure that every child in this kingdom has the opportunity to learn." The crowd erupted into applause. Later that afternoon, the queen met with her closest advisor. "If this fund is going to change the future," she said, "it must first be allowed to grow." She paused. "Bring me the finest bankers in the kingdom." Several days later, the great doors of the throne room opened. 2 bankers entered. One wore royal blue, the other emerald green. Both bowed respectfully. The queen welcomed them. "This money no longer belongs to the crown." She gestured toward the treasury. "It belongs to the children of this kingdom. Tell me why I should trust you with it." The banker in blue stepped forward. "Your Majesty, I can earn your fund 10% interest every year." The queen nodded. The banker in green smiled. "So can I?" The queen blinked. "The same 10%? Yes. The same amount of risk? Yes." She laughed. "Well, you've made my decision wonderfully difficult." Unable to separate them, she stood. "Very well. I shall divide the fund equally. Half for each of you. Then," she smiled, "I shall let time decide." Year 1. Each banker received 500,000 gold coins. Exactly 1 year later, they returned. The banker in blue presented 50,000 gold coins. The royal scribe carefully recorded 500,000 multiplied by 10% equals 50,000. Total, 550,000. Moments later, the banker in green presented exactly the same amount. The scribe recorded the very same calculation. The queen smiled. "So after all this, you truly are identical." Both bankers bowed. The experiment continued. Another year passed. The banker in blue stepped forward. The scribe wrote, 500,000 times 10% equals 50,000. New total, 600,000. Everything appeared perfectly ordinary. Then the banker in green approached. This calculation was different. 550,000 times 10% equals 55,000. New total, 605,000. The queen leaned forward. "You earned 5,000 more. I did. But you promised the same 10%. "I did." "Then how?" The banker smiled politely. "You asked me to let time decide." The years quietly passed. Children grew older. Plans for new schools were carefully rolled into scrolls. Every year the bankers returned. Every year the gap grew. Year 5. Blue banker, 750,000. Green banker, 805,255. The queen noticed. Year 10, 1 million. Green banker, 1,296,871. Now the difference could not be ignored. The royal treasurer checked every ledger, every receipt, every calculation. Everything was correct. Year 15. Blue banker, 1,250,000. Green banker, 2,088,624. The queen began reading the ledgers herself late into the night. Still, she found no mistake. 20 years had passed. The entire kingdom gathered once more. The blue vault opened. 1,500,000 gold coins. The crowd applauded. It was an extraordinary result. Then the green vault opened. The room fell silent. Gold filled the vault from floor to ceiling. The royal scribe announced the final balance: 3,363,750 gold coins. The queen stared in disbelief. You both promised exactly 10%. We did. You both started with exactly the same amount. We did. You both had exactly 20 years. We did. She looked around the room. Then someone must explain this. The green banker placed one gold coin on the table. This represents your original investment. Beside it, he placed another. After 1 year, it earned this. He pointed to the original coin. With one method, only the original coin continues working. The first coin rolled forward, the second remained behind. Then he reset the coins. This time, after the second coin appeared, he placed it beside the first. With my method, every coin that is earned goes back to work. Both coins rolled forward. 2 became 4. 4 became 8. Soon the table was covered with coins multiplying across its surface. The queen watched in amazement. So, the money began earning money. The banker smiled. Exactly. She looked at both bankers. What do you call these two methods? The banker in blue answered first. My method is called simple interest. Each year, interest is calculated only on the original investment. The banker in green continued, and mine is called compound interest. Each year, interest is calculated on the original investment and on every coin that investment has already earned. Simple interest. Interest each year equals the original principal multiplied by the rate. Example, 500,000 times 10% equals 50,000 every year. After 20 years, 500,000 plus 20 times 50,000 equals 1,500,000. Compound interest. Each year's interest is added to the balance before the next year's interest is calculated. Year 1, 500,000 times 10% equals 50,000. New balance, 550,000. Year 2, 550,000 times 10% equals 55,000. New balance, 605,000. Year 3, 605,000 times 10% equals 60,500. The balance keeps growing, which means the interest keeps growing too. After 20 years, 500,000 multiplied by 1.10 to the 20th power equals 3,363,750. The queen smiled. So the difference was never the interest rate. The banker bowed. The difference was simply that every earned coin was allowed to keep working. Months later, the first schools opened across the kingdom. Children filled classrooms that had once existed only in the queen's imagination. Books lined new shelves. Teachers welcomed eager students. The queen watched quietly from a distance. Queen Eleanor believed she was investing 1 million gold coins. In reality, she was investing in generations she would never meet. The two bankers offered exactly the same interest rate, 10%. The difference was never the percentage. The difference was what happened after the interest was earned. Simple interest rewards only your original investment. Compound interest allows every dollar you earn to go back to work. Some people have called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. The smallest difference in a calculation creates the biggest difference in the future.